Hi, I'm the founder and an owner of Nest DC, and I want to talk a little bit about condos and what to do when you have a property for rent or you want to rent in a building and you own the condo, and there is a condo association that's responsible for governing that condo and maybe a management company that's also in charge. So you have your condo, you live in that condo, and or you bought that condo and you would like to have a tenant move in. That is not always as straightforward as you would like it to be. So, the first thing that you want to do is check with the board of directors, the folks that are in charge of governing the building, who are also co owners in that building, and ask whether or not you are allowed to rent that property out. Some of the bylaws have restrictions around whether or not you can rent and for how long and when and how many units in the building can actually be rented at one time. So, check your bylaws. That is really the governing instrument for your property and really dictates what you're allowed to do as someone who may want to rent that property out. It's a drag, but it is the way that these properties are governed. And there are a lot of reasons for it. They don't always favor having a lot of tenants in a building when there is this. I think this general idea that buildings are better off when people who own also live in the building. I think there are mixed reviews on that, but I will say following the law is the best thing to do, and following the rules is the best thing to do, particularly if you do rent it out. So make sure you're following any rules around quiet hours, move-in days, move-in fees, how people use the property. You want to make sure you're also setting your resident up in the call box. The pain in the butt call box. If your resident's not set up there, they're going to have a bad experience, but it can take a little bit to get that done. There are typically two or three people that have to be engaged in getting someone either a fob or a code or a master key to the building. Whatever you do, make sure that your residents are there and respectful of the other folks living in the building. Listen, high density living is can be highly intense sometimes if you have folks that don't necessarily want to live in proximity to each other. So, setting people up for the very best experience is the very best you can do. And don't forget that when you have a rental property in DC, even if it's a condo in a building, you'll want to make sure that you have proper registration with the city.